So tonight, just for the recording again, we're going to talk about, let me back up here. We're going to talk about what to post, when to post, and how often to post on your social media. I want you to look into the word follow and just recognize that that's a verb, right? And it means to go after or come after. So it's a person proceeding ahead and someone moving or traveling behind you. Like she went back into the house and Ben followed her. And the synonyms come behind, come after, go behind, you can read those there. And so when you are attracting new friends on your Facebook, that's what I want you to think of, is that they are following you. And so tonight is going to be some about you being the expert on your social media posts. So when do you post? What's the best time to post on Facebook?
Tammy, we're not seeing your screen.
Okay, let me go back and reshare it. Thank you. Thanks for that heads up. Sometimes screen share falls off. Now, can you see it?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, great. Thank you for the heads up. So there's different opinions about when the best time to post is, when the most people are on Facebook, when the most of your target audience is on Facebook. Different online organizations have published studies based on when the best time to post is. For example, HubSpot contends that the best time to post is Thursdays and Fridays from 1 to 3 p.m. And so they say if you're posting from 1 to 3 p.m. on Thursdays and Fridays, make sure what you're posting is golden and that it's good and it's targeted directly to your brand. TrackMaven, an online social media tracking website, says Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Now these are in your own time zone. CoSchedule says late in the week, like Thursdays and Fridays, and on weekends from 1 to 4. So this is real similar to what HubSpot says. Buffer says early afternoon during the week and anytime on Saturday. BuzzSumo, a website that's a social media guru website, says off-peak times are best. So not Thursday and Friday afternoons or Saturdays, but off-peak times. So let's take a look at why they might say that. But it's good to know that almost every study out there tells you a different time that's the best time to post. So they don't even agree with each other. So here's the flip side of posting in off-peak times. Now this is a quote from Facebook's Vice President of Advertising himself, Brian Boland. He says that on average, there are 1,500 stories that could appear in anybody's newsfeed every time they log on to Facebook. So for people with lots and lots of friends and page likes, that could go up to as many as 15,000 potential stories that could appear in your newsfeed anytime you log in. And so because of that, the competition in our news feeds is really getting stiff, and it's increasing, and it's becoming harder for any story that's any one of your posts to gain exposure in your friends' news feeds. But that's what we want. When we post something, we want our post to show up in our friends' news feeds so they click on it. So they're calling it a content crush. And there's more content that our friends are sharing to Facebook than we could possibly read in a day. And so Facebook came up with this newsfeed algorithm to help them determine what they're going to show us every time we open up our Facebook. Because whenever we post on Facebook, we are competing. That's the way to look at it. We're competing with potentially 1,500 to 15,000 other people's posts. And we want Facebook to serve our posts up to our friends more frequently. So that's why it was so important, this homework piece that you guys did. And when people like Dave Duba said he had 75 likes and comments in 24 hours, that's a big hit and a big success for him. And you heard his testimony that more and more people that liked and commented on his homework were then served back up to him on his future posts. And probably, I would guess, a lot of them were people that David didn't see regularly in his newsfeed. So the more time our friends spend looking at our posts or clicking on our posts, that's an indicator to Facebook that that person is interested in us. And so Facebook takes into account the time people spend on a piece of comment or content. So that's why articles get more importance in the algorithm than a 10-word post, because people spend more time sitting there looking at it as they're reading the article. Or videos are getting more, right? Because it takes them more time. And so the other thing that's part of the algorithm, like we talked about earlier, are likes and shares. And like Vicki and David Key told you in their testimony, that they're having so much fun interacting with their friends, because as they rebrand themselves and as they are consistent in their posts, Facebook is really liking all of this interaction that's happening on their Facebook page. Same with Bonnie Rogers, when she talked about how just simply changing her profile people had so many people commenting and liking it. And although that probably felt really good, huh, Bonnie? Although that probably felt really nice, it really was a success story as far as her Facebook algorithm goes. So remember, the goal of your news feed is, Facebook's goal is to deliver the right content to the right people at the right time so they don't miss things that are important to them. So here's just a fun graphic I found online that answers the question. Now, so how does Facebook choose what to put in your news feed, or AKA in your friend's news feed? Well, it has to do with interest of the user in you. It has to do with your post and how it's performing. It has to do with actually past posts amongst other users. So Facebook remembers your track record and your history with people. Whoops, sorry. The type of post, we're going to talk about that. So if you have a user who never clicks on your comments, but always clicks on your videos, the next time you post a video, you will show up more regularly in that person's newsfeed. And as far as how recent the post is as well. So as you begin to post, this is kind of a quote from Eric Worre's Social Media Mastery class that, by the way, costs I think around $550, $600. And he says that your goal in your posts is to become a global thought leader, or a person who's recognized in your brand, and a voice for other people with similar passions like you. So one strategy is you want to seek out other thought leaders in your brand. So for example, Dave and Vicky Key wanted to brand eating out in restaurants. I bet they could find blogs and articles all over the internet that they could reshare back to their Facebook page, because those are other thought leaders. Now, if you have a thought leader, let's say Robert Downey Jr. is a big Facebooker. And if you're following Robert Downey Jr. and he posts something and you share it back to your news feed, because he has so much engagement on Facebook, you're going to get a lot of engagement too. So look for other thought leaders in your brand and find content on other pages on different platforms even. So for example, you can go to Pinterest. Let's say you love food and you love cooking food. Let's say you love cooking organic food. You can go to Pinterest and find somebody on Pinterest that cooks organically and find their content and share it on your page. Like-minded friends, there's a lot of like-minded friends in our community, a lot of health-conscious people and things like that. So repost, whether they're in or out of Asea, repost and share what they're posting as well. And bring value, bring good value to your community, to other thought leaders. So if you're on Robert Downey Jr.'s page and you see him post something, you can go curate something off the internet and post it back to his page. And if you can get one of these thought leaders to comment on what you posted on them, you just you skyrocketed your algorithm. This is just a list of different things that you can post, different things that Facebook really likes. They love these infographics and videos that you can find on other places online and curate them and post it back to you, to your page. But what I want you to do is to become an expert in your brand. So pick one of your interests or activities or passions and become an expert in that. And really be the expert to your community that you're building. So for example, Sean Burke. We all know that Gold Asea associate Sean Burke is a physical therapist. He owns his own personal training facility. He runs marathons. He's a triathlete. And Sean, if you're listening, I'm really, really enjoying working with you as you brand yourself. But I told Sean, I said, hey, it's spring. Everyone's, getting into the workout craze or the running phase because they want to lose weight or get more fit or get active. You should come out of the closet and be an expert on running or doing marathons, and just write short little paragraphs and articles on your Facebook page, because you're an expert at that. And so I'd love to see you just come out and be that expert publicly. And so think about what you can be an expert in. And as you post in these different areas, just shine as the expert. Don't be shy, but a lot of people are looking for what you have. And when we get to the end here in a couple of moments, I have a homework assignment for you that will help you figure out how to be an expert online. So remember that you are building this brand, and you want to just be a curator of information to other people who have similar interests like yours, but never forget your goal is to increase how many friends you have and build that base. Because tomorrow night we're going to talk about how to begin to turn those friends into prospects. And we have a fun guest tomorrow night, who has been working, Marion Struble, Diamond Marion Struble, who's been working very hard over the winter to grow her friends and turn her friends into prospects, and she's doing it the right way. So I want you to hear from her tomorrow night. So there's an option on your smartphone or your iPad called Facebook Live, where whatever you're doing, you can actually Facebook Live it. So Dave and Vicki Key, you guys could turn your camera on yourself while you're having some of that fun pizza, or when you were on a conference call building your little rock statues, I forget what they're called. You can just turn your camera on yourself and do a quick Facebook Live video. Those are viewed 3 times more than recorded videos on Facebook. And so again, it's all about social engagement. The other thing that I'm going to have us begin to do this week is to find other interest groups on Facebook and join them. And so find groups that are cohesive with your brand. So if, excuse me. So for example, one of my brands is the RV lifestyle. And so as I'm building that brand, I've joined some groups on Facebook that are RV lifestyle groups. And I'm in those groups and I'm adding good quality content, not just asking questions and getting information, but really providing value in that group. But I'm watching who's commenting back to me, and then I might go at request to be their friend and start up a relationship. Because remember from class number 1, it's all about relationships. So in these groups, this is not the place to talk about your product. It's not the place to talk about Asea publicly in these groups. So if, for example, if you go join an autism support group because you've seen and heard testimonies about how our molecules help those kiddos' cells communicate, you wouldn't want to go in the group and if somebody is having a challenge, publicly post about our product. The time to do that is to take it offline in a private message and create a relationship, introduce yourself, and then find a way to visit with them about your products. So I think tomorrow night when we hear from Marion, she's going to talk a lot about that too. So the other thing is to really pay close attention to who is liking, who is commenting, and who is sharing. And when I say pay attention to it, I mean give them some love, give them some attention, give them some feedback. Navigate over to their page, look what they're posting, and then like and comment and share on their page too, particularly if they're not an Asea associate, because this will help, again, Facebook just serve up what you post in the future. Plus, it's beginning to create that relationship so you can begin to turn them into a prospect. Pay attention to your birthday notifications. So when you are being notified by Facebook that one of your friends is having a birthday, again, particularly if they're not an Asea associate, pay attention to that. And by pay attention, again, give them some love, give them some attention. I know one person who has recorded a happy birthday message on a video, and this person sends that happy birthday video message to the people that are showing up in her notifications, because video gets more attention than a post. So if you have time, hey, a Facebook Live video to your birthday friends would be a great idea too. On Dream Struggle Victory, I posted this little graphic that I curated off the internet, and it's just a 31-day social media challenge. So it's some ideas of content if you get stuck, what to post. I know several people who have followed these posts for 31 days, the nice thing about it is that with the regularity of posting every day, they're really boosting their social interaction and people who are seeing their news feed and everything like what we've been talking about. It would be good to post morning and evening if you're really going to get into this. That continuity isn't too much at all. However, you can post too much. If you ever open your news feed and you see 6 or 8 or 10 notifications of the same person who has shared this video and article back to their page all in the last hour, that's probably excessive, because your friends are going to do what you do, what I do, and we're just going to skim over those and ignore them. So you can post too much. So here's your homework as we conclude. I want you to answer a common question on your Facebook status. So you can start it with this: I'm always getting asked, and then complete the sentence. I always tell people, or my answer always is this. And then here's something I found on the internet that I thought you might enjoy based on this question. You might search YouTube for some YouTube links, because again, those are videos, and videos get a lot of attention. But again, I'm always getting asked, how do I stay so slim? Or no, let's say, I'm always getting asked, how do I stay so tan? I always tell people that my favorite tan accelerator is Skinny Tan, because I'm really worried about the dangers of sun damage and suntan beds. And so here's something on the internet that I thought you might enjoy. It's my favorite sunscreen and self-tanner, or something like that. You get the point. So that's our homework. So tomorrow night, again, we are going to talk about how to convert your followers to customers and associates. So tomorrow night's going to be really fun and really key. And together, tonight's class and tomorrow night's class is the meat of how to be successful on social media in your Asea business. So thank you for joining me tonight. I'm going to turn off the recording, and you can feel free